In this video, we're going to look at this 2021 Model Y. We have a chance to review this as we have it for 10 days, and so I can tell you the good and bad about it. The Tesla Model Y is kind of hard to tell apart from the Model 3 for people that are not familiar with it. It has basically the same shape. This Model Y is pretty much a overinflated Model 3. All that Tesla did is pump some more air in it, made it a little bigger, and that's it. Well, that's the short version of it. So it is very similar, and many people can't tell the difference unless the Model 3 and the Model Y sit side by side. But it is longer, it is wider, and it is taller than the Model 3. So there is a definite difference. Also, it does come with larger wheels from the factory than the Model 3. It does have about 1 inch more ground clearance than the Model 3. That's it. So really not much. This is, I guess, considered an SUV. In my opinion, it's not. Maybe a crossover, if that. So I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Is this an SUV? In my opinion, it's not. Our Rivian R1S definitely is an SUV. Another difference from this to the Model 3 is that this is a hatchback, and so it has a huge tailgate rather than a small trunk lid, so you can actually load way more stuff in here. And this huge tailgate is actually powered on the Model Y here, which kind of makes it nice. And you can see we got a bunch of stuff in here. We're traveling, we bought some stuff, we bring things along. Got my camera equipment here. Now, just as the Model 3 and any other Tesla, there's more storage underneath here. So this is pretty cool. This is neat here. This actually latches in place. It's a little tricky because if you just want to lift it up to grab something real quick, it will latch right in there, and then you want to put it back down. That can be a little tricky, so you got to make sure you lift it back up. Also, there's more storage under here. You can lift this up, and you can see down there, that's actually our Starlink box. So it's a very shallow, about 3 inches deep storage. And you do have to pull this one out in order to get to that one. That is kind of inconvenient in a way. I would have thought they would put a little latch like this right there and you can lift it up, but that is not the case. But tons of storage back here. Also, you have a huge side pocket here that goes really deep down there. Same thing on the other side here. We have huge side pockets. And well, because you have this large opening here, you can get even more stuff in and simply fold the seats down right here. As simple as that. And then this side, I can hear something go, but the seat doesn't fold. So this doesn't work on this particular car. Well, I guess we would consider that broken. Now that said, you just go in here and use the latch right here, fold the seat down anyway. That's something Tesla would have to fix, but now you got a huge area here to load stuff, and I would say you can easily fit a bicycle in here. So that is pretty cool. Another thing is with these seats here, let's bring this back up. So this latch is in place here, but you see there's a gap, and we can grab this and we can move this all the way back. Now there's no more gap here, and so the passengers back here can actually adjust the seats into 3 positions, it looks like. So the backrest can adjust a little bit, same over there. So that is really cool. Then here, this gap here, let me get in real quick. So I got tons of room here. You can see there's tons of room left. This is the seat is in driving position where I'm at. I'm only 5'5", but I sit pretty far back for most people. But there's plenty of room here, so you get tons of leg room. Also, the view is amazing. No crossbar here like in the Model 3, so you get to have a great view from the back seat here. This is totally cool. And since it's a power tailgate, you just press the button and it will close again. You can do this from inside, from the touchscreen. So if you pull up somewhere and somebody just has to put something in the trunk, you can actually pull up, press the button, and they can put their stuff in. And now let's put this seat back up as well here. There we go. And same adjustability here. There we go. Also, we have a armrest here in the center with 2 cup holders in them. And since this is a bit wider than the Model 3, the passenger in the middle, if you have one there, has actually a little bit more room, and it's a bit more comfortable because there's also more leg room there. All 4 doors have pockets, so that is pretty convenient. They're relatively large pockets too, so you can put quite some stuff in there. All 4 doors are frameless, so there's no frame, just as any Tesla. And then as we look at the glass here, you can see this is a single pane on the back door. Now let's go look at the front door. And right here you can see this is a double pane window. So we got 2 panes and there's a center part in between. And this helps to make this car really quiet. So what I have found, this is way quieter than our 2018 Model 3. I also find this is basically as quiet as the new refreshed Model 3 Highland. This was super quiet. I noticed that right off the bat when we started driving. So I was not too impressed with the Model 3 Highland, how quiet it was. I made a video, maybe go check that out. It was definitely quieter, but the way it was advertised, it sounded like it's catching up to an Audi, BMW, or Mercedes, but it's not. It's still noisier than that. But this here is, I would say, almost, or maybe is, as quiet as the Model 3 Highland. So this double pane here definitely helps this car to be much quieter. I also noticed it just today as I was looking for a location to record this. We're just off the highway here, not too far, but as I was closer, I was in the car, it was totally quiet. I opened the door and I could hear the highway noise. So this is a pretty quiet car, amazingly quiet. All right, well, it does have a Frunk, so let's get to the screen here real quick and look at the Frunk. And unfortunately, in Tesla fashion, the Frunk is not powered. I think the Cybertruck's the only one that has a powered Frunk. Here we go. Got some equipment in here, camera stuff and other things. So it has a decent size Frunk here. Windshield washer fluid is right there. Nothing special. Just like a Tesla. And yes, you have to close it by hand. You're supposed to use 2 hands, 1 on each side of the T. But it works with 1 hand. Yeah, other than that, it very much looks like the Model 3. The interior is very similar to the Model 3. It does have bigger wheels. So if you purchase a Model Y over a Model 3, you get the bigger wheels, but you have the bigger cost when it comes to replacing the tires. Also, some of these do have staggered wheels as far as I know, which means the rear wheel is a different size than the front wheel, so you cannot rotate. The Model Y over the year comes in different variants. They all look the same basically on the outside, on the inside. But there's like a standard range and a long range. There's different battery packs. So this particular one here is a long range. This has the lithium ion battery pack. I believe this is about 80 to 82 kilowatt hours, somewhere in that area. It has an EPA rated range of 327 miles, I believe, which again comes pretty close to the Model 3. They're very similar. It's a little bit less efficient than the Model 3, but extremely efficient for its size. I was very surprised, actually. So now this has the 21770 lithium-ion battery pack. They made a LFP version of this one, I believe, out of China, which I believe is a standard range model. I'm not sure if it's a long range. And then they made, or still make now, the 4680, which I believe is a structural battery pack. So there's a few differences. Does that really matter to you? Not really. What you look at is the EPA rated range, and you make sure you have enough range so that it works for you. I believe all of them are over 250 miles EPA rated range, so they're all definitely good for traveling. Any EV with over 250 miles EPA rated range can travel. With Teslas, no problem with the charging because there's so many superchargers around and they charge so fast. Now for us, charging this was easy on this trip. Our charging stops were between 5 and 15 minutes. I think we never really had, well, we had longer charging stops, but that was because of us, because we were not done. We had longer charging stops. At some place we ate dinner, and so we charged to full in the meantime. And I don't think at that point we didn't even need to charge, we just were hungry. So we never really were waiting on this car on this trip at all. And we did skip superchargers, many superchargers actually on this trip. So it has plenty of range and it works wonderful for traveling. It's got plenty of room for all the stuff we needed. So from that standpoint, this is really, really cool. And basically just like any Tesla, it's got the power seats. Here on the Model Y you can see this here, so you have a raised seat position. Even though the car only has about 1 inch more ground clearance than the Model 3, well, here you gain some height, so you're sitting in a higher position, which makes a lot of people feel much more comfortable being a little bit higher up. Also, it has all these same functions with the memory, with your driver's profile, and so on. So this is all the same basically in every Tesla, including the Model Y. And the Model Y has only a center screen, just like the Model 3. There is no screen in front of the driver, which that works just fine. We're totally used to this. If you're really desperate, there are screens available that can be installed right there. We installed one on the Model 3 just to see how it is. There's a video about it, so you could check that out. But it really is not needed. This screen here works just wonderful. It takes just a few minutes to get used to it, and it's super easy. Let's go take a look up here at this particular part. There's no clip there. This is just a magnet. And so this is pretty cool. In our Model 3, this is still a clip, but the magnet makes it easy, especially putting it back. You don't have to look at it. You just put it there and it snaps in place. Also, down here we have wireless charging for your cell phone. So there's room for 2 phones. You can just put it in there and it does wireless charge. With my phone with the case on, it does not charge so great. It stops charging after a few minutes, then starts charging again. If I take the case off, it does work fine. It will charge continuously, but it gets pretty hot, and it came to the point where I actually had the message on here that it's too hot for charging. And I have heard that complaint before from other people in the Model 3 and the Model Y, so I assume this is an issue with this particular wireless charging pad that they use. I don't know if all phones are like that or not. If you have a Model 3 or a Model Y with this, let me know down below if you got any issues. What phone are you using, and well, how does it work for you? So our Model 3 did not come with a wireless charging pad at the time. That was not standard, and I installed an aftermarket one, and that aftermarket one works great with any phone, with the case on it even, and it never really gets too hot. So that's a pretty good one right there. Then other than that, we got the usual center console here. We got the 2 cup holders, right? This is the newer style here with the slider right there, and then there's that big thing. This big old compartment goes way down. What is missing is a tray right here, and Tesla sells you that tray, so you can buy that in the Tesla store, or you can buy that aftermarket to keep this a little more organized. Then the same thing back here, you got this big old hole where you can stuff a lot of stuff in it. Again, you can get the tray for this from Tesla or aftermarket. And hey, looking down in here, look, what is this? EVJect. You need an EVJect, by the way, if you own a Tesla. This keeps you safe at the Supercharger. If you don't know what EVJect is, go watch our video and use our link down below in the description with the discount code and get yourself an EVJect, and your family members that drive a Tesla, get them an EVJect as well, because you want to be safe and you want them to be safe. All right. Well, so there's not much difference here. Big pockets in the front doors too, where you can store stuff and easily fit a bottle in there, so that is really great. And it's just a pretty amazing car. So we've been really happy with this car. My wife drove it. She felt very comfortable driving it. She liked the higher seat position. My daughter drove it. She likes the Model 3 better because it's smaller for her. That size makes a huge difference. The higher seating position was not necessarily my daughter's point that she really wanted it because of that. My wife, on the other hand, liked the higher seating position and she didn't care so much that it is bigger. My daughter, on the other hand, doesn't mind having the Model 3 where she sits lower and the car is smaller. To me, I mean, I drive anything, I don't care about the size. The higher seating position personally is not necessarily an important thing. It is comfortable to sit in here. These Tesla seats here, I mean, they're just amazing. They're fantastic. Whenever I sit in a Tesla coming from another vehicle and I sit in those seats, they're just so nice. They're amazing. So you can't beat them. They're great. They're the same seats here in the Model Y as they are in the Model 3. The only difference is that you're sitting a little bit higher, so your legs down here, you just have a little more bend, while in the Model 3 you're a little more straight out. But amazing. This particular car, this 2021 long range here, still has a lead acid low voltage battery. Tesla switched a little bit later to the lithium ion battery, the low voltage battery we're talking about. And this particular car has a heat pump. I believe all Model Ys actually came with a heat pump. I don't think any of them have the PTC heater. So, but that said, our Model 3 is basically as efficient as this one here with the PTC heater. So this is a little bit bigger, so the heat pump saves a little bit because of the heat pump. It's just a bit more efficient, but I really wouldn't make a purchase choice based on heat pump or PTC heater with an electric vehicle, with a Tesla anyway. So, well, that is about all the stuff about this one. In regards to size, you notice it has a wide butt when you look in the rear view mirror and you see it right there sticking out. That is one thing I noticed early on that I don't notice like that, or never noticed like that, in our Model 3. Another thing people have been complaining about at times is the view with the rear view mirror here, because we have a hatchback and the relatively horizontal window. There's not a huge view here, but that said, I mean, as you put this in reverse, there is your view. You have your side view cameras. I mean, you don't need more than that. And there's plenty to see up here for just regular driving. You're supposed to look out this window anyway as you're driving. So the seat belt height is adjustable, just like on the Model 3. So it is in the lowest position for me, but you can just press this button, slide it up, and set it in different positions here, so that it is comfortable for you and doesn't cut your neck. All the functions on the screen, they're just like a Tesla, basically like every Tesla. Just like every Tesla, this Model Y gets over-the-air updates, so the screen can change, more functions can be added, and so it's always nice to get new stuff added that wasn't there, and you're not paying anything for it, so that is really cool. So you get more options as time goes on and more functions, and you don't have to pay for them, so that is really cool with Tesla. Also, you can buy This particular car actually has the acceleration boost, and it goes a little bit faster. I think it brings it from 4.5 seconds to 4.2 seconds, 0 to 60 or something like that. You gain a little bit more boost. Another option is the FSD that you can purchase with the Model Y. This has FSD on it, and I use FSD all the time. It has been getting so much better, especially over about the past year or so. It's very impressive. If you're not used to it, it may feel a little weird in the beginning, but if you use it for a few weeks or a few months, it's really cool. I personally love FSD, and if I purchase another Tesla, I'm pretty sure I'll spend the money and get FSD with it. Well, let me know, what do you think about this vehicle? Do you like it? Do you like this full-blown Model 3? Or is it too big? You would prefer the Model 3, or would you just prefer another car? Which EV do you prefer? What do you like about this one? What do you hate about this one? Do you have one? And if you don't, go test drive one. At Tesla service centers and Tesla showrooms, you can actually test drive. There's no salespeople there that put sales pressure on you like at dealerships for like whatever, Chevys and other brands, right? So you can just go, actually you can go online on Tesla's website and make an appointment for your test drive and go test drive a Model Y and see how that is. And currently, I believe all these that they give out for test drive have FSD on them, so you can even test out the FSD. You get like 30 minutes to an hour of a test drive there by yourself. There's nobody coming with you. They can explain the car to you if you want to. You can just basically go there. They give you the key and off you go. So check it out if you haven't been driving a Tesla. Let me know what you think about this vehicle. I personally like it. We are not in the market to purchase a new vehicle at this point. We just recently got the Rivian and the Cybertruck, and we have the Model 3 and the Model S, our 2013 Model S with over 200,000 miles. So we are not in the market at this point, but this is definitely a wonderful car. It needs maybe a little accessory here and there so that we don't have big holes down in here, but other than that, it's pretty darn good. And we really enjoyed it on this trip with the three of us in here with the luggage. Traveling in it was great. Charging was great. I mean, it is a great car overall. All right, well, that is it for our Model Y review for this 2021. And there may be a refresh coming on the Model Y. People speculate about that, but maybe next year there's a refresh coming where it gets a little bit updated, similar to the Model 3. We'll see. Well, if this is your first time with our channel, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. Also, click our channel icon and go look at all the other videos we have. We have lots of travel videos, so if you're new to EVs, don't know how traveling would go, long distance driving, we have all kinds of different videos. Wintertime driving, traveling in the wintertime, they're all there, those videos, so you can see how that is. And make sure that you give us a thumbs up for this video and every other video that you watch from us, and feel free to share those videos with everyone you want. Put them on your social media, wherever. We want to make sure everybody learns about electric cars, and so everyone can actually build their own and correct opinion about it, because there's a lot of FUD out there, a lot of misinformation, and we have been living with and only driving electric cars since 2018, so that is a good 6 years now. And so we really enjoy it, and there are lots of benefits for us driving these cars, so, and we want you to be able to enjoy those benefits as well. Well, in any event, thank you for watching. Goodbye.